Welcome everybody. It's a beautiful day out, 51 degrees. And today, the Metuchen Bulldogs will be facing the Lakewood Pioneers. It should be a nice game. Metuchen is 3-5 so far this season, while the Lakewood Pioneers are 1-7. This should be an entertaining matchup. The Lakewood Pioneers have only gotten one win, and that was on a forfeit. So this should be a winnable game for Metuchen. Let's see how it turns out. Thank you. And we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. The game is about to start, but quickly we'd like to say a message. Your Metuchen Bulldogs would once again like to thank Fresco's by Jimmy for the delicious dinner served to the team last night. Please remember to stop downtown to grab a tasty bite for lunch, and remember Fresco's for your catering needs as well. Today, your Metuchen Bulldog football team are all wearing yellow letters JC on their helmets in honor of MHS senior Joe Corrigan. Joe is beginning his battle against osteochondroma, a type of bone cancer. His Metuchen Bulldog family is here to remind Joey C. that he will never be in his fight alone. Get better. Alright. So, Metuchen Bulldogs are lining up for kickoff. See what happens. Like I said before, the Pioneers are only 1-7. So, and their only win was on a forfeit, so this should be very interesting. Looks like the Pioneers are kicking off. So, let's see. And turning it on the left, breaking tackles and tackled around the 43-yard line. And that is Matthew Flood with the return. Nice return overall. Brought around midfield, and they're going to line up for the first snap of the game. This offense has been mostly about running the ball, as much high school teams are. They like to run it a lot with their running backs, such as A.J. Perillo, who is a wide receiver, but they like to run it with him. And also Andrew Antaporta, so let's see what they do for their first play of the game. Another running threat is Steven Mihalizin, so we'll see how that goes as he lines up for the snap. And it's a play action. Throws it to his left to A.J. Perillo, and A.J. Perillo going down the sideline. And he gets tackled around the 25-yard line. What an amazing way to start this game. A.J. Perillo. That was an amazing play call by Guy Fieri. It set up the screen perfectly, and he was able to get tackled. A nice gain of 30 yards for the first play. Well done by the team. Well done by Mihalizin, too, for selling the fake and then passing it to the left. We'll see what they do for their next play. They're going to use A.J. Perillo heavily in this offense. So that's just one of the many plays we'll see today. Perillo in the backfield, too. Motioning Matthew Sadowski, and it's a handoff to the right. A.J. Perillo, again, 15 to the 15-yard line, about 10 yards. And I believe that is second down. Like I said before, they're going to run it a lot in this offense. The first play, a nice screen. I was able to get them in field goal range, so we'll see what they do with this next play. They're about to line up. One wide receiver on each side. Motioning Sadowski again, and it's a handoff. And he is tackled for a minimal gain, but I believe that'll get the first down. And it will. First down, Metuchen. This has been a great start to the game. If they keep up at this pace, they are going to get it most likely either a touchdown or a field goal, because they're in scoring range. We'll see what they do at this next play, but they have a fresh set of downs. Lining up. Same formation as last play. But Sadowski on the right side. And it's going to be a handoff to Sadowski, and no gain on the play. Maybe a yard or so. Good play by the defense of the Piners. But it is now second down and 12. Loss of 2 yards, I believe. Or no. Yep. It is a loss of 2 yards. Second and 12. Piners' defense has not been playing well against the run. The Bulldogs' only pass attempt has been a screen, so if they keep up with the short passes, they might be able to be dominating this team all game. Takes the handoff. Looks like he's going to pass. Fakes it. And he's going to pass it to O'Leary, and O'Leary gets a gain of about 5. We'll see what the ref calls, and it is going to be spotted at the 11, maybe 12 yard, no, right at the 10. It's going to be third and it's going to be third down and 8. So they have to make a big play here, or else they'll have to either kick at the field goal or go for it. Field goals haven't been as effective so far in high school, at least I've noticed. A lot of blocked kicks, so they might want to go for fourth down if they could get at least a gain of 4 yards. And it looks like the refs are calling the play dead. I believe that's a timeout. Maybe wrong formation. It is a timeout called by the Metuchen, I believe. Still third and 8. We'll see what they do here, but well, looks like they're bringing out 2 more players, and it is probably going to be a passing play or a running play. Depends how much they trust their running backs. But maybe they could do another screen pass like they did on the first play of the game. We'll see, as Guy Fieri talks with his players about it. The Piners defense has been playing not as good until now. Until this point, they've been playing soft coverage, but it looks like when they focus on the run or focus on the short gains, they could get a lot done. They got a negative 2 yards on the first play, and then they only allowed a gain of 4. So if they could do that again, that'd be great, and they either go for it or get 3. 2 receivers on the left, no one covering. Holloway. Holloway wide open, and it's going to be a pass, and it is caught. Touchdown, Aiden Holloway. What a play. You saw number 4 there, Edgar Saliva. He was guarding Aiden, and Aiden just blew right by him. Good read by Mielisen, and he just caught it at the corner of the end zone. No pass interference on the play. Great play by both Aiden and Steven. And it looks like they are going to go for it, bringing Mielisen on the field. Like I was mentioning before, they have not gotten many field goals or extra point kicks through. So going for 2 might be their best option here. Antaporta in the backfield. And play called dead again. Believe it is a timeout. They might be switching to go for the extra point. We'll see what happens, but either way, Metuchen has played well this first drive. Okay. Guy Fieri trying to discuss a play and just talking about if they should go for 2 or not. I'll go back to the touchdown play before. That was a great read by Mielisen. He saw a Holloway just blow by the defender. That was Edgar Silva. And that was a great play by Holloway too. The defender came in time, but he adjusted himself to make the catch. Great play. And I believe he might have been PI'd on that play too, so that makes the play all the better for Holloway. Perillo in the backfield, and 2 tight ends. A fake pitch to AJ Perillo, and it is tipped. Incomplete. Almost got it. That was Holloway targeted again. And the score is 6-0. Thanks. And is kicked off and tackled inside the 35. And looks like they're putting their defense on the field. The multi-talented Steven Mielisen playing safety. He's tied with his team in interceptions, which is very impressive considering he also plays quarterback. And he also has 2 tackles for loss, 7 solo tackles. Great player overall. And that's only in the last game, too, which I'm talking about, not his season stats. So we'll see what happens on the first play for the Piners. Oh, and it's fumbled! Thankfully, well, not thankfully, but it's picked up by the Piners, and that's going to be a loss. Botched snap on the first play of the game. That's probably a bad omen. The quarterback, Jayon Gonzalez, I believe, fumbled the snap. And it is now 2nd and 12. And, oh, another fumbled snap. Are you kidding me? Breaking tackles, that's number 11, Kayvon Timms. That is the 2nd fumbled snap in a row, and this is not going to be a good game for the Piners, I could tell. And it is now 3rd and, I believe it is 3rd and 10. Metuchen doing great things already on defense. And looks like they're going zone coverage. Number 7, that's Matthew Flood having to guard 2 players on the right. It's going to be a pass, and he passed it to the left. And breaking tackles, oh no, and he's going down the sideline. He might get a touchdown here. Mielisen chasing him, and that's going to be a touchdown for Andre Peace. Wow. 68 yards. Amazing run by Andre Peace. Wow. It was a pass to the left, and it looked like that Metuchen was going to get the tackle and make it 4th down. But he broke the tackles, and he outran Mielisen, and it is now 6-6. And if they could get the extra point or the 2-point conversion, it'll turn into 8-6. And it looks like they are going to indeed go for the 2-point they are indeed going to go for the 2-point conversion, and it's going to be a run, and that's going to be in. 8-6 Piners. And I think there's a flag on the play. Yes, there is. This might not be over yet. Right now it is 8-6, but we'll see what the refs say. Don't know what that could have been on. If it was on Metuchen, it will be 8-6, but if not, they will have to replay that down. And it's a 2-point conversion. What do you know? 8-6 Piners. Metuchen's getting the football back. And Metuchen's defense simply could not tackle Andre Peace. It was a good play by him overall. 8-6. And let's see what Metuchen does to retaliate. Guy Jensen talking to his players about what they're going to do for the next play after kickoff. Lining up to receive. Their main receiver, or at least the last play, was Matthew Flood. Number 7, as you can see on the left side of the field. And it looks like number 32, that's Kendall Johnston, is going to return the kick alongside A.J. Perillo. Piners still getting their formation figured out. And refs called it, play ball. Kicked off, and it looks like it's going to go to Matthew Flood again, going down the sideline, and he's in around inside the 30, I believe around the 29-yard line, 28 maybe. A nice play by Matthew Flood, getting him past the touchback area. 29-yard line. 61 yards to go, or 71 yards to go. Let's see if they could do it. Bring it to the end zone. They might need another play, a big play from one of their big players, like the Piners just did with their Andre Peace. And motioning Holloway, and it's going to be a pitch to A.J. Perillo. A.J. Perillo, oh no, juking to the right and gets tackled around the 40-yard line. First down, Metuchen. Good play by A.J. Perillo. Broke a couple tackles and got the first down for his team. A nice play design too. Some players bit on Holloway running the jet sweep, but A.J. Perillo got to go on the other side, and it is now they're now at the 41-yard line. Let's see what they do on their next play. Two receivers on the left. That's Holloway and O'Leary. Motioning Soldowski again. It's going to be a handoff to A.J. Perillo, and fights through tackles around the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. And it's going to be a 44-yard line that he's tackled at. In a huddle discussing their plays. Mielizin going back to report to the team what their next play is going to be. Lining up. Perillo in the backfield again. Holloway lined up on the outside to the left. O'Leary on the right. Fake handoff to Perillo. Passes it to number 21. That is Matthew Sadowski. And I believe that is third down. Or first down. Metuchen. They get past the 50-yard line, and they are down at the opposing 44-yard line. Huddling. Handing it off to A.J. Perillo, going left, and finds a hole, and A.J. Perillo is off, turning on the Jets, the 10, the 5, and he's in for that touchdown! A.J. Perillo, what a run! Wow, 12-8 Bulldogs. He found the hole, and he went with it, turned on the Jets, got tackled, and fell right into the end zone. Just like he was supposed to. Perfect play. Great blocking by the O-line. Great run by Perillo. 12-8. Or is it called back? I believe it might have been called back, the play. Holding on the offense. That's kind of a letdown. They are going to be going 1st and 10 again. And I got excited there for a sec. And going to be a direct handoff to Mielizin. Motioning Sadowski, and it's going to be a handoff to Antaporta. And he gets maybe a couple yards, 2 or 3. Second down, and I believe 7 or 9. Antaporta in the backfield. And it's going to be a fake handoff to him. Mila's in, almost picked off by Andre Peace, the player who got the amazing touchdown run last drive for the Piners. And it is now 3rd and 9. How will Metuchen come back from this? They've done amazing plays before, like the one that got called back a couple plays ago, and the one to Holloway, and the one where they threw a screen to A.J. Perillo. Let's see what they do here. And 2 running backs in the backfield. That's Antaporta and Sadovsky. And it's going to be a handoff, or a snap to Milizin, and is overthrown to O'Leary. And it is now 4th and 9, and I believe they're going to punt it off, getting their special teams on the field. 6-8 Bulldog, or 6-8 Piners. And it looks like Milizin back on the field. Don't know if they're going to punt it or not. And I think they are going to go for it or not. Never mind, their punter is on the field. That's number 24, John Balesta. That's going to punt it off. And he does. And he's tackled around the 15. Nice play by the Bulldogs. And that is going to be maybe the 12 or the 13-yard line. Great play by the Metuchen Bulldogs. And the Piners are getting lined up, motioning Nolan, number 6, to the left. Nobody covering him. And 2 uncovered receivers. And it's a handoff straight up the middle to number 11. That is Keon Timms. That gets the first down. Or no, 2nd and about 1, I believe. And handoff to number 11 again. That's Timms. And I believe he's tackled for a loss. Great play by Metuchen. That was Sadovsky that made the tackle. And it is now, see where the refs put the ball. It is 3rd and 1. No gain on the play. Great play by Sadovsky. And it's going to be a QB run, trucking through defenders to the 30-yard line. That is Derek Marsh. Rocco Dagan, one of the main pieces on this defense, going to the sideline. And it's a quick pass to number 21, Anthony Tucker, and he gets stopped. And it is going to be a loss, I believe. Great play by the Metuchen defense. 2nd and 10. No gain on the play. 3 receivers lining up. No, 3 receivers lining up for the Piners. And it's going to be a handoff to number 11. Again, that is Keon Timms. And he gets a gain of about 5. And it is 3rd down for the Piners. And it is handed off again and is swallowed up. No gain. Multiple people going for the tackle. Great play. I believe Luke Cadillo was one of them. And it is 4th and 4, and they are going to go for it. And there is a offsides right there on Metuchen. I believe on multiple players right there. The 2 D tackles, and they are going to get moved up to the 42-yard line. What could have been, huh? Could have stopped them on 4th down, but instead, it is 1st and 10 for the Piners. And a timeout. Piners lining up for 1st and 10. 2 receivers on the right. Fullback number 50, that's Jalen London. The O-lineman lining up at fullback, and it's a handoff swallowed up. Wow. And that is going to be a loss. I believe that was number 32 who came up with the tackle, Kendall Johnston. And they're going to move him back after the flag. And it is going to be a 1st and I believe 20. Wow. And it's a read option from the quarterback, and he is speeding past defenders. And he gets a gain of about 8, maybe 10. We'll see where the refs mark him. Good play by the coach, head coach L.J. Clark of the Lakewood Piners. Good play calling by him. Giving credit to the assistant head coach, Evan Bubbles, the quarterback coach, Darius Hart, all the coaches on the Lakewood Pioneer staffs. And meanwhile, it is a play that is swallowed up for only a couple yards. 3rd and 9. Aiden Holloway coming off the field. And it is a handoff, no gain, and it is 4th down. Great job by this Metuchen defense. Some of the people that came up on the tackle, Rocco Dagan and Andrew Antaporta, some of the players that came up with the big play. And it is 4th and 5, and they are indeed going to go for it. To pass or the run, that's the question. The run hasn't been working out for them these past couple plays, so they might want to pass on the outside. Looks like number 5, Derek Marsh, is getting some signals from his coach. And it's going to be a run, a QB run, and it's stopped. Turnover for on downs, Metuchen ball. A great play by the Metuchen defense. And they are going to start at around the 50-yard line. Let's see if their offense can work some magic and get to 14 points and make it a one-score game. Also, it's the end of the first quarter. So, teams get a little time to talk over what they're going to do for their next game plan. And the first snap of the second quarter is going to be by Metuchen after the turnover. And they are sending Sadowski out there. And right now the play is being called dead. Too many men on the field. Looks like Sadowski's going to switch out with Antaporta. And it is going to be first and 10, excuse me. Motioning AJ Perillo. It's going to be a fake handoff to him, and Steven is going to run, and he's going down the sideline. And he is pushed. Might have not stepped out of bounds. And that is around the 20-yard line. Great play. And they mark him down around the 32-yard line. Talking it over. Great play call. I believe that might have been the first run all game for Mihalison after handing it off to AJ Perillo and Antaporta. A lot of different players. Testing. Is some, wait. Excuse me. And, oh, there's a flag. I believe that might have been either taunting or unnecessary roughness. I saw some emotion come out of number 4, Edgar Silva. Nevertheless, there is a flag up in the air. And it's going to be on the Piners. Okay. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. And huddling up. See what they do on first and 10 after the flag. And motioning number 24, John Balesta, after, and Stephen Meal isn't trying to run, but nothing out of it. Number 1, that's Andre Peace, made that big play for the Piners earlier this game. And it is going to be second down and 10. No gain on the play. Talking over what they're going to do. And I believe that's 4 receivers lined up. Spread formation, and Mielison motioning Perillo to the right. Takes the snap. Looking for Holloway, and he catches it. Not after trying to break the tackle. Not ruled down yet. Now rolled down, and after getting, I believe, a first down. We'll have to see what the refs say, but it was definitely very close. A good effort by Holloway trying to break the tackle, and I believe he got the first down there. Mielison was looking his way the entire play. 3 receivers on the right, but he knew where his go-to target was. Good play. Holloway lining up on the right. And it's a handoff to A.J. Perillo going through defenders, and I believe that's going to be a first down. Or maybe just short, actually. And it is going to be marked just short. It's going to be marked 4th and 2. And they're going to go for it, sprinting to the huddle, or sprinting to the play formation. And it's going to be a QB sneak, and he definitely got that. No doubt about it. And they are within 5 yards of the end zone. See what they do. Switching players. Steven Mielison going out. Looks like he might have gotten injured or not. He's jogging back to the huddle. Looks like tugged on his leg. I might be mistaken, but we'll see what they do on the next play. Rocco Dagan in the backfield as a fullback. And it's going to be a handoff, and it is stuffed. 2nd down, and I believe right where they were before. And they are 4 yards, excuse me, away from the end zone. Lining up. And Rocco Dagan again playing fullback. And it's going to be a pitch to A.J. Perillo, juking to the left and trying to fight in. I don't know if that was a touchdown or not, but it might have been just short. And they are marking it around the 1 yard line. Quickly, no huddling. And it is going to be a QB sneak. And I don't think he got that. And it's going to be marked. See what the ref says. And then it's going to be marked 4th down. And they are indeed going to go for it with the ball being right next to the end zone. I wonder if they're either going to QB sneak it or if they're going to hand it off. Either way, they should be able to get this. And it's going to be a direct snap. And he is going to QB sneak it. And I think that's a touchdown. I can't really get a good view. And it's a touchdown. If they challenge that, we will see. But touchdown Bulldogs. It's going to be 12-8, and if they go for it on the 2-point, they can make it a 14-8. And that would make it so if the Lakewood kicked a field goal, they would not be able to take the lead. So they are going for it on the they are going for the 2-point. Lining up. Holloway on the right with no one guarding him. Oh, never mind. Number 21, that's Anthony Tucker going on him. And I think it's going to be a run. And it's going to be a fake handoff to Perillo. And throws it to Antiporta. And that's a 2-point conversion right there, if I've ever seen one. And it is 14-8.
Your Metuchen Bulldogs would once again like to thank Fresco's by Jimmy for the delicious dinner served to the team last night. Please remember to stop downtown throughout the
snacks.
Of the Pop Warner football team, please remember to head to the snack stand for your hot dog and drink. Nice job. Hanging on the sideline. Have a good one, guys.
And Metuchen getting ready to kick it off. Excuse me. To Lakewood. 14-8. A 6-point game. And they are getting ready to play ball. And it's going to be a short kick around the 35-yard line. Number 53 got it. That's Alexis Torres. And spotted around the 34. They have about 6 minutes to get into the end zone and retake this lead, if they end up getting the 2-point or the extra point. So far, a close game between these two teams. Oh, and that's going to be an offsides. Easy call on Sadowski. It looks like he might have slipped there. And it's going to be 1st and 5 for the Piners. Might have been accidental with the slippery turf, but it is now going to be snapped, and it looks like it's going to be a read option. Pass to number 11, breaking tackles, stiff arming, still up somehow, and he's tackled inside the 45. That was Kayon Timms. I've said his name a few times. He has gotten some nice runs for this team, but that might have been his best one yet. Stiff arming and breaking the tackles of at least about 5 defenders. Great play. And handoff to Kayon Timms again, and nothing there. And no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Andre Peace guarded alone. Most likely going to be a handoff. But if they do pass it, it might turn into a big gain. And it is going to be a handoff to Kayon Timms again, breaking tackles, and tackled inside the 25-yard line. And they are going to mark him down at the 23. Trying to get on sides. And it's going to be a snap and fumbled. And it's recovered by Metuchen. That is the 3rd fumbled snap today. And that is recovered by Sadowski. Had the offsides before and just came up with a huge play for Metuchen. And now Metuchen might have an opportunity to get some more points for this offense to make the lead even bigger. The first 2 offensive plays for Lakewood were botched plays, as the first time it was fumbled by the quarterback and then jumped on. The second time it was fumbled by the quarterback and then recovered by the running back and fought to get a couple more yards. It was a very bad start to the Lakewood offense, but Metuchen just capitalized on that, and they are going to have another chance of getting 6. It's going to be a pass play. Oh, fakes it, trying to avoid the pressure, and throws it up to the sideline. Incomplete. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 for this Bulldogs offense. Lining up. Mielison has been pretty good on passes. I'm pretty sure that was his first incompletion of the game, and it's going to be a handoff to Perillo. Perillo cutting inside, evading multiple defenders, and tackled around the 50-yard line. Great play by Perillo. And just moved the chains once more for this Metuchen offense. 4 minutes and 34 seconds left on this clock for Metuchen. And they have that much time to get from around the 50-yard line all the way to that end zone, so we'll see how they do it. Mielison bringing the play to his team, and they're going to line up. Antaporta in the backfield, and 4 wide receivers in the spread formation, motioning Perillo, and it's going to be a QB run, and only a couple yards on the play, and it is going to be 2nd and a couple yards that were gained on the play. 2nd and 7, and there is going to be a timeout called on Metuchen. Guy Jensen's, I believe that's his 3rd timeout that he used. So they have none left, and they will have to manage the clock as best as they can. The running plays will have to be limited if they want to get a score here and not run out the clock. But Jensen is discussing it with his team, and we'll see what they will do in these coming downs. Metuchen coaching staff, good one. Like I said before, Guy Jensen is the head coach. Offensive coordinator Jordan Leitner, and Marcus Ferris is the defensive coordinator. Good coaching staff, and has been leading Metuchen to hopefully get a 500 record, which will be very good. Four receivers lined up, and they're going to direct snap, and he's going to throw it to number 24, and he gets tackled inside the 35-yard line. That is John Balesta with the catch. And that is going to move the chains once more for this Metuchen offense. And there is now about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this ball game. They'll have to manage their clock wisely without any timeouts. And they're discussing the play. They just shortened it from about 50 yards to about 35 yards they need to gain. So well done. Again in the spread formation. And passes it to John Balesta again, evading tacklers, and is tackled after a gain of about 4 yards. Another good play by John Balesta, evading the defenders, and ends up making a gain out of the quick pass. A.J. Perillo lined up in man coverage, and he's going to get the pass. And he's cutting to the right, and he's going up the middle, and he's tackled around the 15 inside the 20. A.J. Perillo making yet another big play for this Metuchen offense. And it is placed at around the 16, maybe 17-yard line. And they are doing a great job moving these chains. 2-minute warning just hit. And same formation as before. Perillo backing up, and it's going to be a designated QB run. 8-yard line. It looks like he was tackled around. And that was a great run by Mielison. going back to the coach to see what play they're going to do. And it is, they're going to huddle and get out of the formation quickly. And it looks like Antiporta lined up behind Milizin, and it's going to be a handoff. Nothing there. They might have to no-huddle it quickly, or not. A minute left on the clock. Second and about maybe 8. Or excuse me, third down. It's 3rd and 1. And bolstering through the bolstering through tacklers, and he gets the first down with 46 seconds left. Clock ticking down, and Milizin taking the snap, and I believe it's a timeout by Lakewood after Metuchen used all their other timeouts. And Guy Jensen talking to his team about their next move. What will it be? They have 36 seconds on the clock with no timeouts at the 6-yard line. They could run it, or they could go for a pass play. Last time they were in a similar situation without the clock ticking. They did a pass play and they passed it to Holloway. So we'll see if they do something similar to that. Very important play. They can make this possibly a 2-score game for this offense. Breaking the huddle. Looks like it's going to be a spread formation. 4 receivers with Antonio Antiporta on the field. And it is a pass, and it is through the hands of Andrew Antiporta. And it is going to be 2nd and 6. Incomplete. 33 seconds left on the clock. 3 more downs to get a completion for the end zone. We'll see if they're going to do a quick pass like they've done in the past this drive, or if they're going to do either a QB run or a handoff. Either way, their odds are pretty high for making this a 2-score game. Same formation as before. Antiporta lined up to block, and it's going to be a pass to AJ Perillo, who gets nothing. Tackled for a loss. Hit from the blind side, and that is from Edgar Silva. And they're going to no-huddle it for 3rd down. Let's see if they could save this drive, and they are going to spike it. And they're going to get one final play before the half ends, or the turnover on downs. Very important play call right here. After the loss of yards, they'll have to get one big play to make this a 2-score game. Milizin coming back to tell him the play. And I believe Lakewood using their final timeout, and they are. Suspense kicking in for both teams. This is a big play for both of them. Lakewood gets the ball in the second half, so they'll have a chance to either tie the game or take the lead if Metuchen can't capitalize on this. on the 6-yard line. Just need 6 yards. This will be very interesting to see what Jensen chooses. Remember, the fumble set them up to be able to do this. The Piners could have easily tied up if not for Sadowski jumping on that fumble and making it so the team can get this far to the 6-yard line and potentially make it a 2-score game. Motioning Perillo, and it's a pass to Perillo, and he is tackled. No score for them. Turnover on downs, and that's potentially the end of the half if Lakewood kneels on this play. That is devastating. Quick passes to A.J. Perillo have worked in the past this game, but it looks like they've gotten his number as the past 2 plays, which he's caught the ball, he's gotten tackled and just not for a good gain. That is devastating for the Metuchen offense, and they're going to kneel, and that's the end of the half. A great half by both sides. Bulldogs getting 2 scores and 1 2-point conversion, while Lakewood got their 1 good touchdown to Andre Peace, breaking multiple tackles and bursting into the end zone. And that is officially the end of the half. And we will be back with you. This is Henry Sia. Thank you. And we're back. Lakewood gets the ball at the 40-yard line, and this second half is in action. The defense running on the field, special teams coming out. Last half, there were 2 scores for the Bulldogs, 1 score for Lakewood. Metuchen had an almost touchdown, but then was stopped in the final seconds of the first half. And we'll see what the Piners do to respond to that and see if they could potentially either tie it or if they could take the lead. It's going to be a handoff straight up the middle to number 11. That's Kayon Timms. And it is now 2nd and 8. So let's see what they do here. Kayon Timms in the backfield. Looks like their coach is changing up the play for the team. And it's going to be a pitch option. And he does it. And Kayon Timms was down the sideline and gets the first down. Tackled around the 45-yard line. Good play. It was the pitch option. And he threw it perfectly and got the nice gain. Now they get a new set of downs. Changing the play again, head coach L.J. Clark. And it's going to be... it's going to be fumbled for the 4th time this game, and he's going to run it. And it turns into a first down. How about that? Fumbled snap, first down. They really need to fix that problem. 4th time they've done that. And one of those times it resulted in a turnover, which almost led to Metuchen getting the touchdown. And that also cost them not being able to get a touchdown. Coach audibling from the sideline. And it's going to be a pass play. And it's going to be caught by number 1. That's Andre Peace. Got that big play in the first quarter, which had resulted in their only touchdown. And they're moving the chains once more for a first down. 1st and 10 on around the 18-yard line. And just a handoff to Kayon Timms, finding a hole, and he gets through inside the 10, maybe around the 7-yard line, I believe. And he spots it at the 7. And lining up is Pinewood. It's going to be a handoff to Kayon Timms again. And that's going to be a touchdown. Kayon Timms, but there is a flag. Might have been holding. Would be a gut punch for the Lakewood team. But right now, it is a touchdown. And it seems to be an illegal block in the back, which is going to put him back about 10 yards. And I'll make this touchdown a lot harder to get. 1st and 7. And they're brought back to the 15-yard line. Quarterback, that is the coach changing the play once more for Derek Marsh. And Marsh is going to take the snap, and he's going to run it himself. And he gets the touchdown! Derek Marsh with the run, the QB run, greatly executed. I saw right there he had his right foot forward like he was going to run. I didn't know if he was going to do it or not, but it looks like he did just that, as the game is now tied. Now, if they go and succeed with either the extra point or the 2-point conversion, they will take the lead. So let's see what they plan on doing. And it looks like they are going for the 2-point pivotal play in this game. And it's going to be another QB run, and he gets in. 16-14, Lakewood. They retake the lead. Let's see how Metuchen responds to this. Before, Metuchen had the lead, and then Lakewood had the lead, and Metuchen took it right back. And now, Lakewood has 16 points compared to Metuchen's 14, and that is the 4th lead change of today. Technically a 3rd lead change, but both sides have been playing really well. Now, like I said before, Lakewood's only win has been by forfeit, so this would be their first win against a football team that they're actually playing. So that'd be a huge accomplishment for Lakewood. But if Metuchen wins this game and they win their next game, then they'd be able to get to 500, and that would give a bright future for Metuchen. Getting ready to kick it off, number 72, their prime kicker. Now, if Metuchen can get a nice return, that's the question. And it's kicked off to Matthew Flood, or not. They're going to let it go out of bounds. And Guy Jensen getting ready for his first play of the game. And going into the field, notice Aiden Holloway on the right and Aiden O'Leary on the left. But also, they're most likely going to run it with the fullback motioning Aiden Holloway to the left. It's going to be a pitch to AJ Perillo, and AJ Perillo getting into that open field, and for a gain of about 8, AJ Perillo. We were saying this the last home game, but AJ Perillo does amazing when he gets into open field. He's able to shift through defenders and just break tackles. And if you could get him into the open field, he will do amazing things with the ball. So, looks like this team has figured a way to lock him down in the passing game, but in the rushing game, he still seems to be doing very well. So, we'll see what they choose to do on 1st and 10. It's going to be a direct snap to Metuchen. It's going to be a handoff to Perillo again. Defenders tumbling in, and that's going to be a loss for AJ Perillo. Matthew Sadowski lined up at fullback. And it's going to be a pass. It's going to be a deep shot. And it's picked off. Derek Marsh. And he's going to be taking it back. Stiff arms the defender down. Still up. And he is taken out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It was a risky throw. And it ended up being picked off by Derek Marsh. Wow. No flags on the play. Piners ball. It's a huge play in this game. They needed to retake that lead, and instead it was picked off with great field position. And if they could make this a 2-score game, Metuchen is in deep trouble. Also, I want to take into account how good the return was from Derek Marsh. He was spinning and stiff-arming defenders like nothing. Very impressive. Lining up is the defense. Changing up the play, Keon Timms in the backfield, who played amazingly during the last drive and was a main focal point of them getting that touchdown. Speaking of him, there he is, breaking tackles and getting tackled around the 7-yard line. Like I said before, the Pioneers have not won a single game when they play them. And what I mean by that is their last opponent, the Manchester Hawks, forfeited. But they seem to be playing pretty well today against Metuchen, following the touchdown and the pick. Speaking of which, there is the quarterback run, but there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be on Lakewood, and it's holding. And that's going to set them back 10 yards, and that is going to make it, I believe, 2nd and 15. Second and 11. Andre P seems to be complaining about something on the right. That's number 1. And changing the play again. Keon Timms in the backfield. Derek Marsh, who actually is the quarterback for this team, who made the pick. That is an easy face mask right there on Metuchen. And that's going to set him back a lot of yards. That's going to bring him forward a lot of yards. But back to Derek Marsh. Not only is he a defensive back who made that pivotal play, he's also the quarterback who made some really nice runs before. So, great player all around. Just like Steven Mielisen, he's made a pick, and he is the quarterback, and he could run with his legs. And it is a handoff to Keon Timms, and still going for the first down. And it is going to be 1st and 10. Moving the chains is Keon Timms again. And changing the play again is Lakewood. Marsh is going to run it himself. And it is now 1st and short. Or 2nd and short, excuse me. Audibling. And handing it off. That is Keon Timms, and he's breaking tackles around the 10-yard line. Keon Timms making some amazing plays this game. Excuse me, Keon Timms making some amazing plays this game. That brings him an excellent field position with the potential to make it a 2-score game. Handoff to Keon Timms, and he is trucking defenders. Second and 5. Keon Timms in the backfield. Audibling once again. They might opt to pass it or QB run it this play. And it is a QB run, in fact, and it's a touchdown. Lakewood makes it 24-14. And if they can, in a matter of fact, or 22-14. And if they could get the 2-point conversion, they can make it 10 point differential, which will be huge in this game. If Metuchen doesn't score on their next drive, they're in deep trouble. But this is a pivotal play right here. Taking the snap and passes it to, guess who? Andre Peace, making another big play in this game. 24-14. Not looking good for Metuchen. Looking great for Lakewood. And setting up for kickoff. Great game played by both halves, but it looks like Lakewood has gotten the better out of the Bulldogs, especially Derek Marsh. It doesn't say he's a quarterback, but he is number 5 and he has made some great plays. He made that interception on the last play, or on the last drive for Metuchen, and he ran it in. So not only did he turn the ball over, he ran it in for the touchdown. Number 72, who also plays offensive line, that's Josh Rangel. And he kicks it off for a squib kick, and oh no! A cheap shot to number 20 in the legs, Dylan Mid. And it looks like number 7 limping off the field. This can't be good. That is Matthew Flood. Has gotten the majority of his special team returns. Hopefully he's okay, but Metuchen's offense is lining up. AJ Perillo, or excuse me, Aiden O'Leary lining up to the left, AJ Perillo on the right, and it looks like he's going to pass it to Matthew Sadowski, but that is incomplete. Made the big play jumping on the fumble, and it is now 2nd and 10. Let's see what they do here. 2nd and 10. If they can't capitalize on this drive, it will be a very low chance of them being able to come back. But if they can, they will have a good chance of being able to come back from this game. That is AJ Perillo getting a couple yards on that play. And it is now around the 41-yard line, 42-yard line. And it is 3rd and 6. So they might have to pass it here, or they might hand it off. If they do pass it, it'll most likely be a quick pass to the outside, because that is where their receivers seem to get the most yardage out of when they have open field. Play action. Gonna pass it or not. Multiple flags. He stopped, but there are 2 flags down. We'll see what they are. See what the refs say. Might have been holding, or it might have been both on the defense. If one of them was on the offense, this will not be very good. And it looks like Steven Mielison got a horse collar, or was pulled on the horse collar. Stepping out for the game. This can't be good on the sideline. He was pointing to his horse collar when he was stepping out. It's going to be a holding on the defense, but the penalties offset each other, and it is going to be 4th down.
Block a little ways
block below the waist on the a block below the waist on the offense and holding on the defense were the calls. They are now lining up. Mielison back in the game. AJ Perillo got some separation, but it is dropped by John Balesta. 4th and 6. Big play here. If they can't capitalize on this, it will be a turnover. And if the other team, Lakewood, gets a touchdown here, the tides will turn completely, and Lakewood will have a huge lead, and it'll be super hard for Metuchen to get back. So let's see what they do. They might punt it off here. This number 24, John Balesta again, who's going to punt it. Following the drop, and it is bounced on the ground, and going to grab it around the 22-yard line. Good field position for the punt. But if they can't get a stop here, it'll be very bad. So offense for Lakewood getting on the field. Derek Nolan and Anthony Tucker going to the right side of the field. Derek Marsh getting ready to take the snap with Kayon Timms in the backfield. And Jalen London, the offensive lineman, lined up at fullback. There is Kayon Timms, who is getting pummeled to the 20-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down. Although there's definitely not a very good gain. Metuchen read their number, and about 2 or 3 defenders came to push him back. And it is going to be right where they left off. Second and 8. It's going to be a run, and Derek Brooks gets hit hard, and he is down on the ground. Oh no. That's not Derek Brooks, but a Lakewood player is down on the ground. Not good. It's an offensive lineman. I can't really see his number. This is not good for Lakewood. There's going to be an injury timeout while they check on him. It looks like it's going to be his leg that got hit. Awful. Still on the ground. Jameer Rivera going on the field to check him out, as well as Amir Encock. And he's up! Number 56, that is Alexis Boista, who I believe was lined up at fullback. And he's able to get up on his own power. Actually, not on his own power, but he's able to walk with other people helping him, which is somewhat of a good sign. And they're going to put him on the bench. Or no, they're going to walk him to the medical staff. Meanwhile, 3rd and 4 for the Lakewood offense. L.J. Clark audibling. And they're going to time out for Lakewood. Guy Jensen talking to his team about what they're going to do to come back from this. If they could stop him on 3rd and 4, they'll have to punt the ball, and they'll be able to get another chance to get a touchdown. Offense coming out. Another audible from L.J. Clark. And it's going to be a read option. And it's going to be passed to Keon Timms. And that might be just short. We'll see what the refs say. And it is short. They might have to punt it or they'll go for it. If they go for it and they're stopped, Metuchen will be able to set up for a nice game, for a nice drive to get a touchdown to make it a 2-point game. Audibling from the sideline again. Direct snap, and they're going to hand it off. And is that a first down? I don't know. And it's the Metuchen ball. What do you know? Or not. My bad. It is 1st and 10 for Lakewood. Good play by Keon Timms, and it's going to be a sack. Who is that? It's, once again, making a big play on defense, Matthew Sadowski with the sack. He read that, and he read his number, and he was able to get the sack. Good play. Handoff to Keon Timms again. And only a minimal gain, and it is 3rd and 15. This will be hard to come back from. They're most likely going to have to pass it or do a quick pass. We'll see how much they trust their players. But either way, this is a very good situation for Metuchen after the sack from Sadowski. Uncovered on the right side, and it's going to be a deep shot, and it's picked off by John Balesta, and he's still up. John Balesta juking, and he's down at the 30-yard line. John Balesta making a huge play for this offense. Derek Marsh wanted to test his luck, and it got picked. Karma, after he picked off Mielison a couple drives ago, he threw an interception. Karma coming right back at him, And Metuchen has excellent field position, but there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is. And it's a block in the back. That's going to set him back, but it's still Metuchen's ball. Thanks. At the 50-yard line, Millicent takes the snap, and Antaporta in the backfield. Or, my bad, Perillo in the backfield. And no gain at all. Stuffed. That was number 4, Edgar Silva with the tackle. And 85, Aiden Holloway, who got the touchdown earlier, seems to be limping. Cardillo subbed in for Balesta, who made the interception earlier. It's going to be a no gain. 2nd and 10 for Metuchen. Lining up. And it looks like after the quarter, they're going to switch sides. And they have to go 49 yards, 2nd and 10. Millicent telling Antaporta something. And it's going to be a direct snap to him, passing play. And he's going to pass it incomplete, too low for Holloway. Littner giving the play to Millicent, the offensive coordinator. Jordan Littner, I believe, giving the play. Snap. Another passing play, rolling out right, evading the sack, and it's a sack from Keon Timms, the running back. Makes huge plays on offense and defense, and it is 3rd and long, or 4th and long. 4th and 10 to be exact. Fourth and 20. And this is going to be a long play for the Bulldogs. A huge play. If they could somehow get this, that would be monumental. They're going to punt it off. Very smart move. And punted for Pace. And it's bobbled into his hands. Misses the tackle. Pace is still going. Oh, no. Pace is going down the sideline to the 45-yard line. Andre Peace making big plays today. I may have mentioned it once or twice, but he made the huge play that led to the first score for Lakewood earlier this game. After a couple yards, with the person who made the sack, Keon Timms, gets the sack, or gets a couple yards after making a sack, and a 2nd and 6. Marsh getting ready to take the snap. Audibling is the coach. You see a lot of audibles on this offense. And it's going to be a run to Timms again. And it is 3rd and short. Number 24, that's Balesta, who came up with the interception earlier, lining up against Nolan. Meanwhile, nobody's lining up against number 21, Anthony Tucker. That's going to be dangerous. There's a smoke screen to him, and it's going to be hard hit. Looks like one of them might be injured. That might be Timms who's injured. This is not good. He is one of the main parts of their offense, and looks like he was able to get up. And he's going to the sideline now. Ah, that does not look good. He's still playing, even though he is clearly injured. You saw him pull on his back. That is not good for Lakewood. Putting his hand on his hip. Doing a smoke screen. It's going to be a run, and it's a 1st down. Heroic of Timms to play through his obvious injury. And he's going to go out onto the sideline. Or not. Still in. Very impressive. Meanwhile, Marsh is going to run it and is swallowed up. No gain. That is the wide receiver, Holloway, making big plays on defense. Second and 8. Coach audibling to them from the sideline. It's going to be a run, which gets nowhere. That is number 5, Derek Marsh, with the QB run. And after a series of runs, it is 3rd and 8, and they timed out. The entire coaching staff coming on after the timeout to discuss the next play. Big play here, 3rd and 8. If they could stop him here, that would be a game changer. And trying to go for the offsides, but cannot get it. from Sadovsky. It's going to be a handoff. And Nims up the middle. And it's going to be a touchdown. I guess he's not that injured if he can run that fast. That's Kayvon Timms. His first touchdown of the game. And this basically puts the needle in the coffin. And this pretty much makes the game closed, but if the Bulldogs still could have a fighting chance if they stop them here, which would make it a 2-score game. If not, it would become a 3-score. This might not look like a big play, but it is for the Lakewood Piners, and it is a 2-point conversion. It's now a 3-point game. Guy Jensen explaining their next offensive play and seeing if they could somehow come back from the 3-score deficit. It's possible, it's happened before, but if they could play good on defense against this Lakewood team, they might be able to. Kicking team coming out for Lakewood. The offensive lineman, number 72, Josh Rangel, getting ready to kick it. Matthew Flood and Perillo both out there to return. Or excuse me, Melism out there to return. Looks like they're going to flip sides. And Rangel kicks it off, and it's going to be a squib kick. And it's picked up by Holloway, who's getting smashed by defenders. I saw him maybe slightly injured earlier. He's probably fine. But that was a hard hit for anybody to take. After the squib, it is 40 yards, or the 40-yard line, 46-yard line to be exact, that they're on. And they need to make some big plays. They need to pass the football downfield with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. They might be able to do it if they could get some big plays from their key players. AJ Perillo. Oh no! And it's incomplete. Dangerous ball. Derek Marsh was the one covering the targeted player, Holloway. And another player down on the ground. That is... Oh, that's their quarterback, Melishin. This is not good. Took a brutal hit from the D lineman. As if this day could not get any worse from Metuchen. Seems like it has. Hopefully it's not major. Oh, he's able to move his feet. Jensen, among other coaches and players, checking on him. Ben Richards, the backup quarterback, getting out to the huddle. Still down. Not looking good. Ben Richards, I believe, has not played a single snap yet for the Bulldogs. At least I think so. So this is his chance to prove himself in the final games. And Metuchen getting up, limping off. And he's able to walk on his own power, which is a good sign. Trainer helping him out of the field while Ben Richards takes his first snap of the day. Or excuse me, not Ben Richards. That is in fact AJ Perillo, who's playing backup quarterback in Wildcat. And it is going to be a gain of a couple. AJ Perillo taking the snap again. It's going to be another Wildcat play. This time, it is stopped for 4th down. And trucking a defender, and it is a turnover on downs. Wildcat could not get it done, and it is a turnover. Not looking good for Metuchen. The nail in the coffin, which I should have said before. I said needle in the coffin before, but the nail in the coffin for Metuchen, unless Lakewood makes a series of huge mistakes. But Metuchen has played very well on all sides of the ball. They just could not get it done, sadly. And it's a read option. Juking out defenders, and he's stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss. 2nd down. And about 12. Handoff and stuffed. Keon Timms was stuffed by the D-line. It looks like that was Holloway who was able to get the tackle. Number 33, Josh McGowan, being subbed out. And it's going to be an offsides on Metuchen. And that's going to bring them forward to about 3rd and 7, I believe. Or 3rd and 17. It's a false start on the offense. And that's going to make it hard for them to convert unless they pull out some magic. Let's see if they run it or they choose to pass it in order to try to get the 1st down. Delay of game. And it looks like there's going to be a delay of game on offense, which is going to set them back even farther than they did before. It's going to be 3rd and 22. And it's just going to be a simple QB run. Looks like he's going to try to extend the play. And no gain on the play. Might have been a loss of a yard. Either way, it looks like they're getting their punt team on. After the timeout for the Bulldogs, it is going to be 4th and 22. Or excuse me, the delay of game is going to be 4th and 22. And it looks like they're getting their punt. It looks like they're going to go for it, actually, on 4th and 22. Puzzling. Or no, it is blocked! And it's picked up by Metuchen. Turns out their quarterback is also their punter. That must be useful when they want to fool defenses. Good information to know, as Metuchen blocked the punt and is now down at the 35-yard line. Or excuse me, the 32-yard line. And they are getting ready to see if they could get a comeback victory. Looks like Steven Mielisen is back on the field despite the injury he suffered a couple minutes ago. But he was able to get off on his own power, so it looks like he is okay. Rolling out to his right, passing deep, and that's Aiden Holloway, but he could not get the throw on, and looks like Steven is going to the sideline either to get the new play or to get subbed out. Looks like he's limping there. Not a good sign, but he is there to discuss the play. Personally, I think it would be best to sub out Mielisen to avoid injury risk. But if they want a chance at comeback or have a comeback, he's their guy. So they're gonna send him out. See if he could do a deep pass to one of his top receivers, such as Holloway or Perillo, who are both lined up on the right. And Perillo does an in route, and he's got blockers. AJ Perillo going down the middle, and it's a touchdown. AJ Perillo makes it 20-32 and putting this game in reach. If they could get the 2-point conversion, that would make it a 2-score game, but a 10-point differential is better than an 18-point differential, which puts the game in reach. So if they can somehow get into field goal range, kick the field goal, or get a touchdown, they need either 2 touchdowns with the 2-point conversion, or a touchdown with the 2-point conversion and a field goal. So let's see how they handle this. Pivotal play in the games, the 2-point conversion. And it's going to be a pass to Holloway, and it's caught. A brutal hit afterwards, but it is 22-32. If it is, it ruled a 2-point, and the refs say it is. they're most likely going to go for the onside kick. But like I said before, whenever you get A.J. Perillo in open field, he always does something good. So there's 4:27 left on the clock. Now, if they decide to kick it or not, onside kick it or kick it to Lakewood, that's the question. I think it would be easier or better if they onside kicked it because of how much they're down. After the kickoff, they're about to kick it off. Let's see if they decide to do an onside kick or a regular kick, and it looks like it's going to be onside. Guy Jensen sending signals to the team. Going to be a pivotal moment for number 67, their kicker, who is Kevin Stocker. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout on Lakewood. So they are going to huddle up and discuss their next play after the timeout. This might be good for Metuchen so they can discuss what the best option is. It's going to be a kickoff, and he's going to onside it, but it's going to be called dead. It's going to be offsides, at least according to the crowd. And the refs are going to rule it to be see what he says. It's going to be no signal yet. Excuse me, it is offsides on the kicking team. And Kevin Stocker getting ready to kick off. And it looks like he's going to onside kick it to the right. They stack the right with players, and it's going to be a kick to number 15 directly to him. And it's going to be a handoff to Kayon Timms. It's going to be 2nd and 8. One timeout remaining for Metuchen. Keep that in mind. If they could stop him, if they could stop Lakewood and get another touchdown, keep in mind that they only have one timeout left to conserve the time with. So they should be cautious about how they use that. Meanwhile, it's a handoff to Timms again, and a minimal gain, about a couple yards on the play, and it is 3rd down. And it looks like it's a timeout on Metuchen. I was saying this before. It looks like they're using their last timeout now as they regroup. And 3rd and 4, a pivotal play for Metuchen and Lakewood. Audible from the coach. And it's going to be a handoff to Timms, and that's going to be a 1st down. First and 10. Clock keeps ticking. About 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And we'll see what Metuchen does. If one of their big defensive players can make a stop or a turnover, that would be huge. And then they could get a touchdown or a field goal. Field goal is not out of the question, since they just need a field goal and touchdown to win. Anyways, that is about a 3-yard gain for Kayvon Yims, or Tavon Timms. Kayon Timms, excuse me. And he is tackled for a gain of 3. And it is stuffed. That is Kayon Timms. They've been using him a lot this game, and it shows, since he averages a lot of probably around 5 yards per carry. He's been doing well, but Metuchen seems to have his number recently, as he's not been getting that many yards per carry. And it looks like the Pioneers are going to use their last timeout that they have. A minute and 33 seconds left. Metuchen's chances are getting slimmer and slimmer to win. But if they could get a huge turnover, the chances will get bumped up a lot. But so far, it's 3rd and 7, and it does not look like that they could win. But there's always hope. there's always hope. After the A.J. Perillo touchdown, it was only a 2-score game. So if they could get such like a pick six or a turnover for a touchdown, they would be able to maybe go for the onside kick and then get a touchdown or a field goal. And it's a fake handoff. Going to be a read option. And trying to trick through the defenders and only gets a couple yards. That is Derek Marsh. And 4th and 7. This is going to be either a punt, which it looks to be, or a pass or a run. Now, what makes this offense slightly more tricky on 4th downs is their punter is also their quarterback. So you never know what's going to happen. Or they could possibly fake it. But it's a handoff, and it is no. I don't know if that's a first down or not. I don't think it is. I think he might have been just short. That's number 52, Luke Cadillo with the stop, and it's Metuchen ball. 46 seconds left on the clock. Can they do the impossible? I think they have a chance. Let's see what Metuchen does. Guy Jensen and the rest of the Metuchen team will have to pull off a miracle for this. But if they could get, for example, A.J. Perillo in open field, or if they could get one of their wide receivers to gain separation, they'll have a pretty good chance. Heading onto the field, watch for A.J. Perillo and Aiden Holloway on your right. Watch for them to do some tricky play with either one of them. It's going to be man coverage, 5 against 5. That is Derek Marsh versus A.J. Perillo. And A.J. Perillo is going to come back under pressure, airing it out for Holloway, and it is incomplete, ever so slightly overthrown. Almost an amazing catch by Holloway, but it was just too far for him to reach. 2nd and 10. What are they going to do? We're going to find out. A.J. Perillo lining up against 5 again. Derek Marsh, and it is going to be a false start. 2nd down. And this will only make it harder for Metuchen to perform a deep pass. But this is the type of stuff we like to see when they make those big passing plays. And he's going to air it out for Holloway. He's trying to get out of bounds, and he does. .34 seconds left on the clock. Metuchen trying to make their way up their field, conserving as much clock as possible. Big play. Sadowski motion to the right. And pressure coming, and it's a fumble. They say that it was incomplete. 4th and 6. Milishin thankfully able to get up. Again pointing to his horse collar. 4th and 6. Huge play. Like I've said before, if they could somehow get a touchdown here, winning is within reach. But there's only 29 seconds left on the clock. So they'll have to conserve it as well as they can. Pressure coming. He's going to scramble for it. And a nice block by O'Leary. Straight to number 21, Anthony Tucker. And it's a first down. Mielison gets out of bounds. O'Leary shoved Anthony Tucker to the ground. And that might have been a pivotal play here if they do somehow manage to come back. 22 seconds left on the clock. Again, great block by O'Leary, setting up that huge play. And flushed out to his left. Throwing it, and it's picked. Oh, not. It's incomplete. I thought I saw a defender getting ready to catch that, but it was to Holloway, and they just knocked it out of his hands. 17 seconds on the clock. 2nd and 10. Lakewood playing prevent defense. This game is all but in their grasp, unless they let some big play happen. So they need to make sure to play soft and make it so they could defend deep, because that is most likely where they are going to throw the ball. Watch out for Holloway and Perillo on the right. Against 5, as I like saying. Motioning Holloway. And he throws it to Perillo, and it's incomplete. Miscommunication, and he couldn't pull it in. Third and 10, 14 seconds left on the clock. And motioning Holloway to the right. And he's going to throw it to Perillo, who stays in bounds. And that's going to all but do the game. There is an injury timeout, though. It's the quarterback and the defensive back, Derek Marsh. That must be very bad, considering it is during garbage time which he gets injured. The main quarterback for Lakewood, who's made some terrific plays both on offense and defense, looks to be down with an injury. Now, if this is temporary or if this is long-term, we're going to find out. But he's still on his ground. Players kneeling for him on the sideline, getting checked out by the medical staff. This might be a gift and a curse, as it gives a timeout for Metuchen with 5 seconds left. If they could get at least a touchdown, that would be good, but it would only boost the stats of the players, although that is terrible for Marsh. Looks like he's able to get up with some assistance. And Metuchen goes right back on the field while the defense is scattered. A.J. Perillo being covered now by Keon Timms, the running back. Watch out for that matchup. And AJ Perillo crossing route, and his throw, and it's picked off. And he slides, and that is the game. Derek Nolan with the finishing pick, and they get their first win of the season without forfeit. Metuchen is now 3-6, while Lakewood is 2-7. A great game played from both sides. I'm Henry C.